Thank you for tuning in again this Saturday, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to the platform. Your weekend dose of news analysis and current affairs program. I am Sam Omashe. Today, we begin our searchlight on the ongoing leadership tussle in the PDP and the fresh crisis in southern Kaduna. My guests are lawyer Arikawe-Omolaoye, welcome. And private investigator and security intelligence consultant Ahmed Kadiri. You're welcome.
Thank you.
But before we begin our conversation, let's flip through the national dailies and begin with The Punch, which says Nigerians vow to remain in South Africa as foreigners confront anti-immigrant protesters in Pretoria. We have other news stories here. Arikawe-Omolaoye promises transformation in Ondo. Tinubu, Fayose, others attend swearing-in ceremony. I want my leg back, cries 4-year-old girl who lost leg to wrong diagnosis. Assemblies of God Church crisis. Paul Emeka loses at Supreme Court. FG fires 9 NCAA directors. I can't retire now, I don't want to die, says Ebenezer Obey. I was my husband's punching bag, Tonto Dike. Danger psychiatrists reveal rising mental illness in Nigeria, link disturbing trend to hardship. Country has only 300 experts as against 5,000 required. That is the Punch. The Nation, PDP crisis, Jonathan under fire. Arewa used to ex-president, you are the architect of party's woes. We wouldn't be in this mess if ex-president had allowed a northern candidate in 2015. McCarthy, ex-PDP chair Bello, others say. The Paesa PDP Ijo youth say party crisis is nemesis for North's gang up against Jonathan. That is the headline. They also have story, Arikawe-Omolaoye, we can rise from this dust. New Ondo governor pledges to break down barriers of stagnation, pays tribute to Buhari, Tinubu, and Oyegun. Boko Haram leader Shekau executes group spokesman, alleges plot to overthrow him. Senators, reps raise alarm over 14.8 million victims of insurgency. Killer of human rights lawyer Fadipe to die by hanging. Of course, the Supreme Court upholds sack of Assemblies of God leader Reverend Emeka. The back page we have Shegun Ayobolu's column, Illuminations, titled Bala Usman's prescience. And it says here in the quote, and Bala Usman's parting was for decades ago, quote, if their constitution is adopted, far from moving towards national cohesion, Nigeria will become torn with ethnic and religious disunity and sectionalism. Far from providing a basis and framework for the development of national cohesion and democracy, there will be an intensification of the present grossly uneven pattern of underdevelopment, greater capitalists and bureaucratic greed, individualism and chaos, unquote. Could anyone have been more present? And underneath is Ade Ojekere's column, made in China Eagles, and it says he's unhappy with the likely movement of top Super Eagles stars to the lucrative Chinese league. That is The Nation. And The Guardian says it's a brand new day for Ondo State. Arikawe-Omolaoye promises as he takes office. Protests, xenophobic attacks continue in South Africa. And the Guardian, of course, they have their usual literary supplement in the paper. The Vanguard, Nigerians resort to self-defense over xenophobic attacks in South Africa. Then they have Tinubu, Saraki, Fayose, Storm, Akure for Akeredolu. Willie Obiano's Anambra story, why he went after his childhood friends who were kidnappers. Alaba market leaders straight blames over attacks by cultists. And Cardinal Okogye says, this is not the change they preach to us. And then there's a health story here. Back pain could be a warning sign you will die young. That's the Vanguard. Then the Tribune says, not cause for prayers. Buhari, not cause for prayers. ACF urges support for Shimbajo. Will continue raid on rice sellers, customs, special trade scientists develop anti-HIV vaccine. And then also Saraki, Tinubu, governors, ex-governors, ministers in Akure as Akeredolu takes oath of office. FG sacks all NCAA directors. It's unethical for lawyers to give judges gifts. Lawyers. All right, that will be for the newspapers this morning. And we'll take a short break. And when we return, we'll go to the main menu. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Just as peace was believed to be finally returning to southern Kaduna, suspected herdsmen struck again. This time, they attacked 4 communities in Kaura, Jima, local government areas. Within 24 hours, 26 people were killed and several houses burned or destroyed. These fresh attacks by armed herdsmen were carried out despite security presence deployed by the federal government. A dusk to dawn curfew is now in place in Kaura and Jima, just as security personnel have flooded the streets of Kafanchan and neighboring communities. But are these measures enough to quell the attacks and protect the people? When will the killing in southern Kaduna come to an end? Additional used to be a columnist in Ife, on the walls of Democracy Wall in Awolowo Hall, as we call him, Junior, on Sunday. You're welcome. Now, what do you say to this southern Kaduna resurgence of violence? I mean, there was a lot of noise made over. We have put everything in place. Soldiers are everywhere, and this thing happens.
Well, it's clear. You say evidence speaks for itself. Rest is allocator. If the facts are to be believed as presented, that means not everything necessary to be done has been done. And when you have this kind of crisis that's mixed up, ethnic, political, economic, interwoven, the government will have to really be much more than that. And as for so-called security, you can see the poor soldiers on the streets. Well, I'm not a security expert, but I should like to think, after many years of interaction with law enforcement agencies, that except you build up good intelligence base, and how do you build it up? If you don't have the proper, the good, adequate intelligence resources at hand, you will just be shooting a miss, as it were. And if you are not in tandem with the local people, most of the time, the security agencies are not seen in the same light as people in the church see their ushers. You know, the ushers, they are also policemen, so to say, of the boss, but they are community people. So, but here you find when you deploy soldiers, whoever, they now extort, brutalize people, frighten people, and yet again, even within the so-called security agencies, there are leaks. And so if we I'm going to shut my eye, maybe the commander says, for whatever ethnic reasons, whatever, and then you find, and you know it's so easy to eat. Is the person protecting that has the challenges.
Yeah.
The person is eating at large. He can eat anyhow, and then just with a little assistance, it's done. But this is really horrendous. 26 people within 24 hours, and you say there's security. Enough has not been done, certainly.
Kadiri, you are the security expert. What happened? You have soldiers everywhere, as they say, and then this thing happens. And the ones that they happened, it's not as if they came there and operated within 5 seconds and ran away. They operated for hours. In one instance, they operated for 4 hours on end. And then they did it on the Sunday night, and they did it in another local government on Monday morning.
So it begs the question, where were the law enforcement agents while these so-called Fulani headsmen were having a field day? Now, throwing soldiers on the streets and mobile policemen are just ad hoc measures. Like it's not solving the problem. We need intensive, proactive measures. We need detailed intelligence between the SSS, police, military intelligence. We need a strong database of intelligence. Who are these so-called Fulani headsmen?
No, we're saying that we need intelligence. The governor is acting as though they already have the intelligence. He says there are people who came from outside the country and that they are criminals. Anyway, he said so once, and then the second time, he said that there are Fulanis from outside the country, and he actually said he gave money to go and bribe them to say that they should stop. He became foreign minister at the same time. You know, he did that. And when the indigents were saying, no, it is the Fulani headsmen, the Fulani in Nigeria that did it, leaders have said, no, it's not. But nobody has come up with one piece of evidence of one person who has been involved in this thing that has been happening for several months, that nobody has come up with evidence of who is. Let us pick one person and say, well, this is one person that killed or did this harm in southern Kaduna, and say, okay, where are you from? What group do you work for? So why are we talking about intelligence? There was a conference. There was what they call it. Zamani Records. They set up a panel, and they came up with the same conclusion. The panel itself was not able to provide one face.
Now, you see, there are so many questions to this crisis that keeps reoccurring. Definitely, like I had said before, intelligence is needed. But again, what the question we have to ask is, who are these headsmen? Are they actually headsmen? You see headsmen slinging Kalashnikovs. Now, as far as I know, one Kalashnikov costs a lot of money. Now, how are Fulani headsmen able to afford such expensive arms and ammunition? We've not asked that question. There are some views that there are Boko Haram elements coming in conjunction with these so-called headsmen to inflict pain on these communities. Now, why? Why do we now have a broad spectrum of not just southern Kaduna, of headsmen causing problems all across the country, of headsmen involved in armed robbery, of headsmen involved in kidnapping? Why is this happening? And this is certainly a threat to national security. What are we doing about it? Like you have just mentioned, not one person has been brought to the fore to be identified as a headsman. And no,
or as a killer,
or as a killer, or whatever it is. Nothing has been done about it. All we are seeing are ad hoc measures to the so-called problem, and nothing is being done. And it's beginning to fester.
Now, what do you say? There was a big conference in the north over this issue, where the governors in the north came together, the emirs in the north came together, and then they sat together and gave really impassioned statements and speeches on this thing. and you would think that a meeting of mind has taken place. And you think that they were already in touch with the fundamental problem of that place. So what is the connection or the disconnect between that kind of meeting, which was elaborate and I think sincere, and what has happened?
Well, it may be elaborate, and well, I wouldn't know why you say it's even sincere.
Well,
but because you are making an assumption. The problem really is not with the killers that you see, the sponsors of the killers, and just like the mules in drug rings and all that. If you go after the mules, you are wasting your time. The barons are the people, the cartels, control of the cartels. Now, those people who supply the weaponry that he has described, whatever types, later now you can even be using grenades and bombs and all that kind of a thing, are the problems. I really don't think there is sincerity. And that is why you find someone like Suleiman, the prophet, going to the extreme.
yes, saying that
Going to the extreme in inciting people, because when you feel helpless, when you feel that there is a conspiracy against your people by the powers that be that are supposed to protect everybody, there is a strong suggestion there's an ethnic bias, ethnic protection. If you've been in leadership before, and whether small, whether in larger communities or small communities, where there is a group, they will say, oh, they are so-called boys. They are so-called boys. You wouldn't have had the audacity to go and launch this kind of level of criminality without some people who will defend your interests and neutralize reprisal, proper reprisal. This grandstanding. There is no, we are talking of 20, my brother, we've talked about people losing their lives. With those 26 people that died, what about people injured? And there was this.
What of the houses burned?
What burnt? What about the economy disrupted? And what do you expect those people to take it in, to fold their hands and everything? I really don't think the governor, with due respect to him, I really don't think the governor is sincere. There is a strong ethnic support. It is clear, just like we here in Nigeria, we are watching what's happening to our people in South Africa. There's nobody who can convince a normal person that if there's no kind of tacit support, this kind of attacks will be going on people.
Widespread.
And widespread. So at our local level here, people are killed at whims. You throw people on the, like you said, you deploy troops on the something, then like you said, 4 hours, 5 hours, just even ordinary armed robbery. Yeah. How will it happen? That somebody will storm a bank in an area for 3-4 hours, and then shooting, shelling. Later, of course, the few policemen there, well, they will get it. And you say there's an area command somewhere. It's a lie. It's a lie. So except the truth is said to the powers that be, that Nigeria belongs to everybody and not to a particular ethnic group. There's an attitude that our person is there. And of course, people are going back to the statements of people like El-Rufai in the past.
Yeah. And
you can't, but if you are going to be conscientious and objective, you can't just dismiss this accusation wrongly. Okay, are we now saying if it's so-called men or whoever that have been killed now, will the government be so now mute and complacent? There will have been stronger reaction. And it's unfortunate that I see the government in Kaduna, personal, after reading reports and everything, is lopsided. No matter whatever achievements of El-Rufai, there is strong support. Like you said, I've gone to give some people money. I mean, where do you do that?
And then there was this story that I read recently, that the former governor used to visit the Fulani areas in order to want to make peace. Does that not give you the indication that they knew that that was where the crisis was coming?
Well, exactly. Exactly. You go to where you can locate a problem. Like area commanders, DPOs, when you are deployed, somebody's going to warn you, tell you, inform you that these are the black spots, these are the leaders, these are the people. Sometimes there are some kind of local warlords you see. Maybe all these are Jagumba. I don't know. You have to look and warn Baba. If something breaks out, and if the fellow knows that really, but because they are always superior support, when the DPOs start to contain them, they have access to the AIG, they have access to the IG and all that, even sometimes to the presidency, and then the DPO feel helpless. That is what is happening here. The former governor will be needing, was needing to go to particular places and pin them down. Then this is the problem. I see, to me, is an attempt to take over this community.
Well, you know, there's the story that we've seen in the Middle East over ISIS and all of that, and that they were able to identify key leaders, and they have not been able to finish the task of killing them. But they will say, well, we killed one ringleader today at so place. They bombed out another key leader at so place. In the fight against Boko Haram, we have seen that a kingpin was killed in one onslaught and so on. We have never seen, in this case, any sponsor knocked out.
Or even arrested.
Well,
identified.
You see, the Fulani community in Kaduna, in southern Kaduna, they've been in that community for at least 400 years. They founded the Jama Emirate in 1804.
Yeah.
So it's not as though Fulanis are strangers in southern Kaduna.
Oh.
So suddenly, why are there problems between farmers and Fulani herdsmen? Why? And why, like you have said, are there no possible solutions to this problem? So it begs a lot of questions, and there doesn't seem to be a sincerity of purpose on the part of the state governments, on the part of the federal government, in putting a stop to this imminent threat to national security.
Well, viewers can call in. The number will be on the screen momentarily. Yeah, go ahead.
So until such a time we see objective solutions to tackle this problem, we would continue to have these widespread attacks, not just in southern Kaduna, but it could be somewhere in the south, somewhere in the middle belt tomorrow. It's to continue to spread. And the question I want to ask is, for what purpose is this going on? What reaction is desired from the, because it seems to be something being done purposefully to get a certain reaction, so that whatever purpose for which it is being inflicted can be pushed forward.
Yeah, there was the assertion, and this has been corroborated by some others in that part, that this thing is all traced to the election of 2011. Now, if this thing is a 2011 matter, why has it not been resolved up to today?
Excuse me. Sorry.
Yeah. Why has it not been resolved up to today? That is the question. If the issue was that there were some crises over the election. Okay. Hello? There's a call from Abuja. Okay. We have on the telephone a social commentator, David Ayuba Azaman, who is joining us in a conversation from Abuja. Hello, Azaman.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes. What is your take on the new round of violence in southern Kaduna?
Yes, my take is that a genocide is going on in southern Kaduna. It's not the issue of farmers and herdsmen clash. It's a genocide to wipe out indigenous people of southern Kaduna so that Fulanis can take over our land. The last time I was in this studio was 31st of December, and we discussed so many issues that is happening in southern Kaduna. On the 4th of February, the Chief of Army Staff and also the Governor of the state, they launched the foundation stone laying ceremony of a military barrack at Atachap, Ongwerimi district in Baju, Chiefdom, Zongokatab local government area, just very close to Kafanchan. You know, just within a week, the foundation stone was destroyed. Nobody knows who did that. The foundation stone was destroyed, And, you know, the thing is that thing was destroyed so that it would make it look as if we, the Southern Kaduna people, are troublemakers. Yes, but the Southern Kaduna people, we are the one. Since the regime of Goodluck Jonathan, I could remember our elders, led by General Zamani Lekwat. They met Goodluck Jonathan and they proposed to him that there should be a military barrack within 40-kilometer radius of Kafanchan. And that is what was done during, under the presidency of Muhammadu Buhari. But some mischievous people went and did that. Then, many of our people are being killed in a kind of sniper manner. As I'm speaking to you, most of our people are farmers. The crops they planted in the last planting season, they have not harvested it. And when they go to the farm to harvest these crops, these Fulani, some of them climb on top of a tree and shoot them like snipers. They take them out. So many of our people could not even harvest their crop around Jama'a local government area. These Fulanis, they go into these farms and help themselves. They harvest the crops. After they harvest the crops, they move in their cattle. And the cattle spit on the residuals. And when they attack a settlement, they go ahead and even vandalize houses. They remove roofing sheets and go and build their own settlement. There was secret killing happening. Secret killing happening in Southern Kaduna, even though everything seems to be very calm. You know, everything seems to be very calm.
So what is going on with the soldiers spread all over the place? The soldiers are supposed to be there. They were deployed to the place, and you still have this violence. What sense can you make out of this?
These soldiers, I believe, they are not there to protect the people of Southern Kaduna, but for the Fulani. Because where they attack in Bachinkogi, it was just 2 kilometers from Goska. Goska was the village they attacked on 24th of December. Man is still being kept in Kafanchan. He's supposed to be moved out and bring another person.
Well, he said according to the news report, the ISA, the commander and the CP have decided to move to Southern Kaduna themselves to supervise peace efforts. But that's not my point. My point here is that how long will this tension continue? Because what we have now is a virtual state of emergency. You have a state, usually when you have states of emergency, there is a timeline, and then there are plots and strategies to restore peace and then end the state of emergency. This seems to be a state of emergency in perpetuity. Yes.
Yes, there should be a state of emergency in Kaduna. You know, the thing happening, there is no seriousness about this Southern Kaduna issue. Yesterday, the Commissioner of Police, Mr. Abe, said people are exaggerating Southern Kaduna issue. How can you say 808 people killed? In fact, just between Sunday and Monday, 26 people were killed. It has been confirmed. And you say it is exaggerated. And he said some indigents are using that for their own benefit. What kind of statement is that? How can we be using that kind of thing for our own benefit? When we are peaceful people, we want to stay in peace. Our people are suffering. Curfew is going on. Our people cannot buy food. They cannot move out. And as I even heard, they say the soldiers even help in moving the Fulanis to go to the market and buy foodstuff. That is the report we are having. Why are they taking side? The governor, if the governor cannot stop this issue, because the governor himself is a security threat. Yes, his utterances are security threat. There should be a state of emergency in Kaduna State. Let there be state of emergency so that people that are neutral to take over. The latest attack that happened, you know, there has been a kind of relative peace, in quote, relative peace in Southern Kaduna. This latest attack is that to divert people's attention from the real people causing this pogrom. That is why this attack took place. Because there was a relative peace in Southern Kaduna. And lies are going on. People are telling lies.
What do you think the federal government should do about this? if you have lost confidence in the state government?
As I said, there should be a state of emergency in southern Kaduna.
There is a virtual state of emergency already. There is curfew.
I feel the governor should step down. That is what I'm talking about. Yes, it happened in Plateau State.
Yeah.
The Plateau State issue during Joshua Jare, it was not disastrous like this. Let him step down. That is what I'm trying to say. Let there be a state of emergency.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, David Ayuba Azama, who is from that part and also an activist from that part. Thank you for coming. Additional, you see, what we see here is that we have a deadlock. There's no sense of where we are going from here. That's the real tension in this thing. There's no sense that in 6 months, this is where we are going to be. In 1 year, this is where the Boko Haram thing was easier in the sense that you knew the enemies were, you knew you should flush them out and take them out and so on. In this case, it's like you're fighting an invisible man.
They are not. They are not. Abba, what is invisible about this?
It's invisible to the extent that it seems invisible because you have to identify them to knock them out. But if you say, we know who they are, you cannot pick anybody who is, you're talking about an invisible man.
No, thank you so much, Sam. I think the problem is not so much as knowing them, it's the sincerity. The political will is not there. Even though the suggestion about declaring a state of emergency in Kaduna and taking over may sound extreme.
There's a call. Ilyasu from Kaduna, hello?
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Yeah, what do you have to say?
Yes. Good morning. I just want to contribute contribute to this program.
Go ahead.
What I want to just explain regarding to this, you know that as what the security consultant discussed or narrated, media are all one-sided in terms of something concerning the security issue. We know what is happening even in Zamfara. Killing are also taking place, even the president of army there. Particularly what I want to say concerning the issue of security concerning the southern Kaduna. This is not starting from, it started since 2001, 2011, 2012, 2013. Even when the Aqua was there, still something happened in Sanga local government. Why is it happening in 2 local governments? When they say Southern Kaduna has almost 7 local governments, it's happening only in Zangong, Katab local government, in Kaura local government, and Jama'a local government. We have Kagarko local government, we have Kachia local government, we have Sanga local government.
You have not answered my question. My question to you, Ilyas, is why are they the killings? Who are the killers? They said that the same people did it in Zamfara. Are the same people doing it in southern Kaduna? Why don't they fish them out? If you know them, why don't they pick them out? Have you been able to identify one of the killers before you accuse the media of one-sidedness? Is it 26 people who died? Are they fiction?
Listen to me, sir. What I want you to understand, you are journalists. We are not happy to even single life to be lost. But what you as a journalist, they have to be investigative journalism. I cannot, if now somebody calls, or he just hears his own view, that is his own personal view. But this journalists will be investigative journalism. They should hear from both sides, even the community.
Well, both sides have been talking, my friend. Both sides have been talking. The president's spokesman has spoken.
Information and air it out.
The president's spokesman has spoken. The governor has spoken. The people in Southern Kaduna have spoken. The truth itself has spoken. People are dying. So is this kind of attitude that makes it difficult for us to solve the situation, because people just get hung up on certain points of view. What do you say to what he has said?
Well, Emotions are very high on this issue. Definitely. So you're going to hear divergent views. He is definitely emotionally charged, but I believe it's we have.
It's
to
acting like Trump, saying that it's the media, media that's only one side, whereas both sides have been speaking.
It's all an emotional thing, but I prefer to approach it with a very cool head. Now, when we analyze the whole thing, we've had curfews, we've had soldiers on the streets, we've had mobile policemen on the streets, and yet the whole thing is festering. Yeah. People are flouting the curfews. Soldiers don't seem to be
up and doing. They
don't seem to be willing to carry out their functions there. The policemen, the same thing. So what exactly is happening? Why are these Fulani headsmen so brazen in their attacks? Why are they so bold? What can be done?
They are denying. They say it's not Fulani headsmen.
Well, we just have to give it a name. Maybe they are Fulani headsmen, maybe they are some other form of groups, but the only title we can give them for now are Fulani headsmen. So we do not really understand what is going on here. And as long as law enforcement agents are not up and doing in putting a stop to this problem, we will continue to see what is happening. Like you have mentioned, there doesn't seem to be a political will to this. And as long as there's no political will to this for whatever reason, this is going to be a serious threat to national security.
Okay. On that note, we'll take a break and we'll be back in a while. Stay tuned. An end appears not to be in sight to the crisis rocking the People's Democratic Party, PDP, despite an appeals court ruling that declared Ali Modu Sharif the party's chairman. Sharif has been battling the position with the PDP Caretaker Committee Chairman Ahmed McCarthy, who had also enjoyed favorable court rulings of his own at different times in the past. Sharif has taken over the party's national secretariat in Abuja, is planning to hold a national convention where a new leader is expected to emerge or will be elected. PDP governor said they will not be part of the convention, while the McCarthy camp said it is heading to the Supreme Court. Due to the division and infighting, many PDP members have defected to the APC. The party has also failed to provide credible opposition to the ruling APC. Is it too late for stakeholders to dialogue and adopt a political solution to solve the dispute? What do you say to this as a lawyer?
As a lawyer?
And as a political...
Well, people say that, I don't have to interpret that in good suitable English, that I don't know. It's really a pathetic situation that, I mean, elicits laughter. Not that you are happy, but it's pathetic. I think the PDP always had this coming. I was likening that party to just a party of buccaneers, pirates, and the IC. You are not productive. Once you are a buccaneer, you just loot other people. Yes. And that's what you do. You are not a farmer. You are not a farmer.
You are not productive.
You are not productive. You are not manufacturer. You are nothing. You are just you just even bake the cake.
You plunder.
Just cut the cake anyhow. Unfortunately, you are removed from where you could have the opportunity to take hold of the cake or the remainder of the cake. Now what do? Now start doing infighting. You have been 16 years sitting plumb on that job of sharing, not baking, and now you are thrown outside and you are now doing infighting. That's the problem. And you could see that though I'm not a member of any political party, my sympathy would I like nemesis. I like nemesis. This gentleman said I was in my house. I was in my house. And you came to me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a very strong statement to say. I was not ambitious. You came to me, you pleaded with me.
Yeah.
Come and help us build this party. I now got interested. You now say that it's like discovering that.
And then I was funding, I was giving money, and you were all accepting, you were happy.
And all that. You suddenly now discover that like my would-be bride with HIV. That you are not prepared to go on with the wedding ceremony again. I will kick because you want to disgrace me and all that. Now, and aside from that, it's a party that has not been used to respecting court orders. Rule of law. That is another problem. For example, now, any sensible strategist will say, well, we just have to drop some certain things for the larger goal. Now, the court has said this man is the, what do you call it now, is the chairman. Now, the chairman says, I'm going to do a convention. You say you will not attend the convention. You are, to use another local parlance, you are doing yourself. Because that is the person, until the superior court, that is the apex court, says otherwise. He has taken over the secretariat, he has the right to take over the secretariat. As it is, the problem with politicians is ego. And in Nigeria, ego based on economic arrogance. So now I really can't see, it will begin, actually the party is already diminished. And the problem, like I said, is really fundamental. The emergence of the Obasanjo years and the way the president rode roughshod over that party, the then president rode driving so, how could a party be within 8 years or so, five chairmen, and none of them handing their tenure. None of them handing their tenure, being removed and all that kind of a thing. And that tradition is now inbuilt. Now, it is they themselves. I was just reading the papers and I was hearing the comments of, reading the comments of someone like Olabode George. And if veterans like that could say, well, you continue, Sha, and all that, it's too bad for that party. They really need a kind of reinvention. But whether the capacity is there to reinvent themselves in the light of the calamity that they have brought upon themselves is the question which I should not answer for them.
What I don't understand is, why is it that they must be in PDP? Why can't McCarthy say, I want to form our own party, and call it another like PCD? Or the other one says, okay, I don't even like you, I'm going to form PAD. Yes. At least let them go and bury PDP. Why are they fighting over the same party?
Well,
what is there?
There is a lot to be gained in remaining in PDP. And one of the things I've noticed about the PDP is that they lack discipline. I'm sorry to say, but that is my view. That lack of discipline, that arrogance, that zeal to be objective and progressive, or less in the otherwise. Now, a court has given a ruling. I believe wisdom would dictate that the McCarthy group would respect that court decision and allow Alhaji Sheriff to continue as chairman. I believe he wants to reinvent the party, like you have said. He wants to hold a national convention. Let a new chairman emerge.
But the governor says they are not going to be. Why? Because
they believe what the opposition will do.
Maybe they believe it's going to be a rubber stamp convention. Then they will just become irrelevant.
As long as the court has ruled, the opposition will amount to nothing. Let them stay calm. They are going to court. Well, until such a time the Supreme Court rules otherwise, the status quo remains.
Yes.
So there's no point in all this hunabalu fighting and everything. They should come together and put the party in good stead. Because for how many years the PDP was in power, nothing really productive really came out of their administration. I'm not a politician. I don't have any affiliations to anybody. I'm simply speaking as a Nigerian and speaking as what I have observed. So I believe the party, they should take this time to reinvent themselves and garner more support from their base. That's what they should do.
What is the spoil? I mean, I don't know. What are they looking for? Is this just ego? It's still difficult for me to understand.
Well, let me say this. If you are a politician in a third world country where you play prebendalism, patronage. When you hold something and you have the power or the position to now give out, so to say, jobs to the boys and all that kind of a thing, you will see it as an economic venture. Holding offices is an economic venture. And if you can latch on to a big political party, because still, PDP still is not a mushroom party,
no,
despite the decimation as it is. But as it were, the reality...
It's not a mushroom party, but they are mushrooming. They
are being decimated. As he was making the analysis, I was just thinking they could learn two things, both from Buhari and from Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Asiwaju. He made a point that why must you stay in what must it be PDP? When the gentleman who is not the president was not happy with his party, is it the MPP or APP, he left. Moved. When he felt rubbished, that could have been maintaining a case in the Supreme Court, and my own party would say, it's only me, they are not interested. He moved out. After that debacle, he moved out to form the CPC. Yes. And now, even more recently, there was some kind of issue in Ondo.
Yes.
The Asiwaju Ahmed was there yesterday.
Yes.
Some people are mocking him on pages of some social media and all that. Look at him. Look at what he's doing. He was know what he's doing. That's how to be. In fact, if you build a party, if you're interested in your party, you will know that it's not every time that your will.
You can't win all the time.
You can't win all the time. And then you wait, like you said, you wait back. For example, if they're just thinking that it's okay, while we are pursuing sometimes the Supreme Court, we'll still be working with you. And in fact, it can be a bargaining power to say, oh boy, as it is, if you want us to discontinue, okay, let's harmonize the one I said, I'm not interested in running for chairman again. Yeah. Then you negotiate. But when you want to have I must win, you are playing politics as adversarially, that there must be a winner, there must be a loser. I think that's their problem. And if they don't learn from their rival, of course the APC is a much more successful party than them. I remember all those days, anytime they want to do something, because of an assertive president, then they say it's a family, it's a family issue. But by the time those strong men had left their party, even before Obasanjo, people like Kwame had disappeared. By the time Obasanjo, there's no big person again. What you just have now is a pack of hyenas with no tiger to subdue them. Obasanjo was like a tiger among hyenas, cheetahs, smaller cats. But now all of them are about equal. When you think of a Wiki, when you think of Fayose, when you think of Modu Sherif himself, there's no predominant character.
Talking about predominant character, they brought Jonathan into the story. And they said Jonathan was endorsing
immediately
the sheriff, and then they came the next day that look, I'm not backing him. And then you received him warmly into your arms.
That's putting a sheep amongst hyenas.
Yes,
he will be devoured.
So you could see that even when those other people and demand did not rise up to the occasion. When you don't have elders, you have crisis. When you have elders, they put their weight down. This is what should be done, rightly or wrongly, and then we sort it out. One thing in life is that sometimes you have two divergent opinions. Both of them can even be right.
Yes.
Only that they are different.
Different perspectives.
They told us psychology, if you look at 9 this way, it's 9. If you look at this way, it becomes 6.
Yes.
And then you are now fighting. At the end of the day, what do you get? For example, if they follow what he said, and somebody, the market people said, okay, we are the one having the majority. We pull out. Okay, we leave the remnant to you. Your official Supreme court approved faction. We leave it to you. Then we'll go CPC road. At a point in time, it was the AD. It was only in Lagos State. Somebody persevered and continued working. The thing continued. Later, merged with somebody, became ACN. Again, merge, and eventually we have a PC, and we have the success story that we have today. But if they see politics as 100 meters dash, that's why they're making the mistake.
The ego is too much.
Ego is too much. Well, on that note, we'll take a break, and when we return, we'll take a look at excerpts from my column in Touch. Stay tuned. At one time in the past week, some Nigerians were led to believe that President Muhammadu Buhari was almost set to return home. At around the same time, the same Nigerians were not so sure. The signs contradicted themselves. One reflected the end of a drama, the other skewed the plot. Nothing demonstrated this semiotic dissonance more than two news items. Some said he was sick unto death. Some said he was actually happy, about to hop on the plane. Technology and imagination fed the plate. The situation has reached a stage where truth may never really win. This is because from the beginning, Nigerians were rigged out of the bare facts. Even if at this stage the presidency tells us facts, many Nigerians will react with the incredulity of Thomas Didymus. If they say he is fit as a sky eagle, they will doubt. If they present the physician's report saying in great detail his diagnosis cure and his new impeccable physique, we cannot rule out apocryphal versions online. The sooner we clasp the modern ideal and not shy away from saying whether we have a headache or colon cancer, the truer our claim to modern times. And it must start from the very top. Thank you very much, my guests, for coming today. Until next week, we'll say stay tuned.